Classic gangster rap evolved in Compton, which is an area of South Central Los Angeles. Much like the South Bronx in the 1970s, South Central in the 1980s was an example of urban blight. Similar dynamics existed, like poverty, unemployment and underemployment, substandard housing, declining social services, and gang violence. Niggas with Attitude staged an artistic intervention on immediate obsession with the poor and working class young black men who were living in cities with high unemployment rates, high crime rates, and increased gang activity. During the late 1980s and 1990s, young urban black men were at the center of political debates and media coverage of a spike in violence occurring in America's inner cities. These debates ignored connections between poverty and violence and focused instead on white perceptions of pathologies of blackness. The criminalization of black male youth was based on a racist rationale of the racist practices of surveillance of black neighborhoods, high arrest rates, police brutality, and high rates of black male imprisonment. John DiIulio's description of super predators gives a good sense of the essentialist, dominant cultural ideals that existed about urban black male youth during the 1990s. He wrote, "There are tens of thousands of severely morally impoverished juvenile super predators. They are perfectly capable of committing the most heinous acts of physical violence for the most trivial reasons, for example, a perception of a slight disrespect or the accident of being in their path. They fear neither the stigma of arrest nor the pain of imprisonment. They live by the meanest code of the meanest streets, a code that reinforces rather than restrains their violent hair trigger mentality. In prison or out, the things that super predators get by their criminal behavior, sex, drugs, and money, are their own immediate rewards. Nothing else matters to them. So, for as long as their youthful energies hold out, they will do what comes naturally: murder, rape, rob, assault, burglarize, deal deadly drugs, and get high." In 1996, Hillary Clinton also cashed in on the rhetoric surrounding super predators.
But we also have to have an organized effort against gangs, just as in a previous generation we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
It is within this context that NWA released Straight Outta Compton. The group's name, Niggas with Attitude, directly engaged dominant discourse about young black men. Like Black Power movement activists of the 1960s, they staged a nigga reclamation, turning object to subject, flipping the script on essentialist projections of young black men.